Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a groovy tech house bass section using only stock samples in Ableton Live 10. So already in this project I have set up a top section which I've exported. If you want to learn how to create your own top loops using stock Ableton MIDI samples, go into my other video, it's within my channel somewhere. I've also set up the kick, which again, if you want to learn how to make a really fat kick, you can do so by watching my how to make a kick video. So this is what we have here. So to create our bottom section, we're going to use a couple of different sounds just to layer it and make it sound a lot more dynamic rather than just having one bass sound. Again, this is just for the style of music, the sort of groovy tech house sound. So we'll create a new MIDI channel by pressing Command Shift and M. We'll then go into, let's grab a tom. Let's go for I'll grab a 909 tom. And let's draw some MIDI notes in. We'll listen to the track, drag this over so we can do it live. So the note's a little bit short, so we can go into our control here and bring the release out to lengthen the note. So let's take a little bit of the EQ off of that, because we're going to put another bass element in here. Again, you don't have to use percussion, but having a nice stabby sound with some long sounds, it gives it a nice bit of dynamics. What we're also going to do here is we're going to put a bit of groove on it, so it gives it a little bit of swing because it's a little bit straight right now. So you can do this by, if you type in swing into your searches, go to all results here, it will automatically load up all of the swing patterns that it has in Logic. Ableton, you add them to a groove pool. Logic's a little bit different. You can add swing straight to MIDI clips. But here you have a variety of different swing patterns, from extremely swingy to a little bit of swing. And by adding one of these to the groove pool, so you just need to double click to add it to the groove pool. So double click that. Now when we look at our clip here, if we look at the clip section here, under where it says groove, we have all these different groove patterns. So I've added some in previously, but you just have one normally. So if we click on Logic Swing here, this is just going to apply that same pattern, but to all the MIDI notes that you have in here to save you having to move them manually. If you click commit, you can see where the pattern's been moved, but it's always nice to, you don't have to click commit if you don't want to, because then you can move your MIDI notes over wherever you want. Whereas if you've clicked commit, you'll have to quantize everything again. So let's just leave the groove working on it itself. It does take a little bit more processing power, but if you've got a bit of processing power, then yeah, I'd recommend using it. Cool, let's get another bit of percussion in here. So I'm hearing that, and I'm hearing boop, 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 which I'm going to use a conga for. Maybe one of these. So Command C this to copy it over, so it copies the MIDI information over as well with the EQ settings. So let's put this in here. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to make these notes a bit longer. Bring the volume down a bit. Again, oh, the groove's already applied, perfect. Sounds a little bit a bit too staccato. So what we can do is we can play a bit with the volume automation on it to give it some more dynamics. Now, so that this doesn't interact with the kick, because one of the notes is hitting at the same time that the kick is, so what we can do is we can put a sidechain on it here by putting on our compressor. We press the play button here, that opens up our sidechain panel. Now what I've already done on this is set up a sidechain channel which has a 4 on the floor kick beat, but it's been switched off. So I've got the 909 here, I've created a MIDI pattern which is like this, if you're allowed to listen to it, but the channel's switched off. The reason being is if you ever have your kick off, like there's a breakdown that you're creating and you still want your notes to be affected by the sidechain, if you've got no kick there, then it won't compress them. So it's always easier just to run the sidechain for the whole track to save you having to put your kick in and then turn the notes off. So yeah, sidechain. Cool, so we've got our toms, our congas. Let's put a bass line in there now. We'll put a sub in here. So now that we've got all these notes in here, we don't have to worry about putting so many sub notes in. So we've gone to instruments. I'm sure there's a really good standard sub. Yep. So we click on this here. And again, what we'll do is we'll just, oh, I don't think we put the sidechain on here. Let's listen to it now. Again, a bit staccato. So what we can do is we can bring the attack up. Maybe if we bring this. I could probably put some reverb on top of that as well, just to make it a bit more washy. Put the reverb in here before the sidechain, and then make the reverb only affect the bottom frequencies. I can maybe put some chorus on top of it as well. This is again just manipulating the sound. Shorter now because we've got reverb on it. So boom, boom. That's what key the kick's in. If you want to get what key your kick is in, you can just grab a tuner and stick it on top. So this is an F because I secretly tuned it beforehand. So we get our sub in the key of F. So if we listen here, drag this along. So that's, as you can hear, because this is hitting at the same time that the kick is, it's causing interference with the frequencies. So for one, we'll take a bit of the EQ out. And then finally, we will do the same as we did with the conga, and we will sidechain it. We might put a sidechain on this tom as well. A little bit shorter. Cool. Now that we've got the section in here, we've got the bottom section, sorry. What we want to do, let's get rid of the tops. We'll rename these Tom, Dick. Nah, let's not do that. What was that? Was that a conga? Okay. Go on. And sub club. And what we'll do is we will put them all in one group and we'll process them together to give them a nice cohesive sound. So bottom will be fine. Let's glue them all together to begin with. Second of all, we're going to put some some saturation at the bottom end, give it a little bit of drive. Again, what do we need to do? We need to gain stage everything. So let's get on to press tab to get back onto our session view, our mixer window. Let me put some reverb on this. I've got a reverb set up here, a short reverb, which I'm sending part of the tom signal to give it a bit of space. So we're at 745. So we'll bring the gain up a little bit. Listen to width. Very glued. We just want tiny little bit of compression, just gluing everything together. We don't want to squash it too much because otherwise we're going to take away some of the bottom end. Saturator. Okay, this is heavy. So what were we at before? 755. Okay, now let's put a bit of overdrive on it. Whoa, not that much. Again, just on the bottom end. Okay, let's put a utility on it. Just bring the gain down a bit. Hey, lucky 888. Okay, let's put all this in a chain. Turn it on and off. I can hear that there's some boxy frequencies in there now. Again, this might not be the same for your track, but I can hear some frequencies at about 200 coming through. there we have it. How to create a bottom section for a groovy tech house track. So tom, a conga, so whatever elements that you want to use, whether it be a tom or whether it be another synth, depending on what type of track that you're making. Again, I've just put a sub in here as an example, but yeah, layering all these different sounds to give space for everything just makes your track nice and groovy. And again, to put it into a group with the kick, compress, saturate, overdrive utility, and I've put some EQ on there. Again, just play about with these plugins till you get a sound that you really like, and what suits the sound that you're making. But I hope this video has helped you. If you have any questions, drop me a little message and I'd be happy to help you. Have a good day, guys.